Oh, I forgot that because I was streaming something else the other day. I forgot to turn on the capture card. Alright, now we should be good. I don't know why I so instinctively heavy with Cersei that, like, it even... I even do it after the blocked hit triggers glancing. I need to get better about that. Hey, Illusion. Yeah, see you soon. Zero critical bleeds in the L2. Alright, one more fight. Hey, Jason, how's it going? I'm doing alright. Yeah, coming to the end of the week. I'm actually traveling this weekend. Um, oh Jesus, I have a flight tomorrow morning. Alright, so I need to pack tonight. Yeah, so I have to get ready for that. But yeah, I'm doing good. For the most part, anyway. I'm glad the season's over. It was a long one. Alright, let's head in. I think I am barely more than... Nah, actually, that's not even halfway through, because the last three are always longer. Thanks, Fantabulous. Appreciate it. This probably is the Mystic one, I'm guessing, given that that's what I have set up. Yep. Alright, am I happy with this? Yes, I'm happy with this team. You know what? Let's drop Doom and bring Jabari. We don't need Doom. Hey, Martin. Okay, yeah, that does have two. Just making sure. They have a lot of good UI things for quests these days. One thing I would like is that when you exit... Well, you know what? That doesn't even make sense. Because I was about to say, I would love if exiting looking at a portal takes you back to the start, but if you're doing it to check the nose where you're going, and you don't just click on them before you exit the portal like I tend to do, then that could mess with people, so I take that back, but it's annoying. Hey, PWF. Yeah, you can probably do that, Pony. Excuse me. Thank you. Dang it. I was hoping that prowess would last just long enough for us to nullify it, but I didn't want to throw the special one to do it. That's fine. That I can do. Hey, Zach, happy birthday. How's it going, Aaron? Viewing on the sidebar should have the letters associated with them. I agree with that, yeah. Ugh. Dumb. Let's remember we're fighting Emma, shall we? Immediately does it again. Alright. Oh. A plus gameplay here. Yeah, Jugs is on my list to rank. Him and 12 others. I could spend a lot of T5B very quickly. How's it going, Cam? Alright, profile pictures. Forgot where that was for a second. Yeah, so we got the Fantastic Four ones, Surfer. I forgot about the squirrel. You can see I've been here a long time, but not the whole time. Too many Hercules profile pictures. I still really like these ones from the boss rush. I guess I never did go back and get the last two, but I'm fine with these. I wish the kites had borders, like even very simple ones. That's my biggest complaint with all of the summer ones, that they look I mean, I know they're supposed to look like stamps, but like if they're supposed to look like, or sorry, they're supposed to look like Polaroids, but still, like, I don't know, some border would make them more appealing to me. But that's okay, they don't have to be appealing to me. I think the only two I've ever bought are the Ronin hammer and the Killmonger spear here. Yeah, there's the other one. And then we get into these. Yeah, but Cam, if you buy T5B, you're not buying SIGs. Like, that's the thing. The BG store has everything, but, like, currency is not unlimited. Every time I've seen you talk about it, you rush straight to the expected value of it and don't talk about, like, the trade-offs and the opportunity cost. I'm not just going to burn all of that there. I can buy T5B with units if I get desperate. I can't buy R formats or Sig Stones with units. They're arguably overpriced, but you can't really get them anywhere else except loyalty, not as a direct currency exchange. Getting the best deal doesn't matter if you end up with a bunch of stuff you can't use. No, I haven't opened it at all, Eric. That's, like I said, this season was entirely too long. I haven't had any time to play games just for their own sake. Glory is one of the best T5B trade-ins. Yeah, I agree. I do that on a regular basis. I get the six version or the six bundles of T2A traded in for the T5B, and then spend the rest of my glory on T5B. I mean, but you're talking about the Battleground store. Marginal value is extremely important in the exact game mode that you're talking about getting rewards from. And marginal value is pretty darn important when it comes to war as well. And the challenge rating matters in incursions. Like the three game modes that I care at all about, rank 4s matter a lot more than the health and attack increase indicate. When are we getting 3-week seasons with 3-week off seasons? The minute somebody puts me in charge. No, I'm kidding. It's lower tiers would complain about that a lot, but it would truly be beautiful. Dang it. It's always like one of the worst parts with Mojo is the large hitbox sometimes makes it difficult to trigger that dex and get the end of buff that you need. Sir. Speaking of large hitboxes. Ah, it just rolled over. You jerk. That's fine. Would rather have a much deeper roster of rank 3s with proper RPG counters. Nah. I mean, my rank 3 roster's deep enough. Like, I'm continuing to work on it, but I'm still going to take every rank 4 I can get. If you're picking good ones for Battlegrounds, they are more important, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that I lost my match against Usafa because I was missing specific rank 3s. I really don't think that there is a single rank 3 that I could have traded in for the characters I had that would have made the difference in that match. But there are at least 2 rounds where, with the performance I put up and the performance he put up and the exact defender attacker pairings we had, if I had had more rank 4s, I would have won. That's the marginal difference I'm talking about. Like, yeah, it does depend on where you're aiming. The definition of edge case? Yeah, but it's the definition of edge case that, like, that's the edge case where I lose. I'm That's what matters to me. There are very few people that I'm going to beat by adding a rank 3 Juggernaut to my deck that I wouldn't also beat by taking my I-Bomb to rank 4. Like, I don't agree with your premise. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Snoops, easy, how's it going? Not sure I said hi to you, Matt, earlier. Just don't ignore those, Zach, and honestly, turn off global chat. It's not worth it. Nobody in here has said that to you, Barbarian. You don't need to flex on us to compensate. But congrats on 6-3. And I'm assuming you're a different time zone because... Whoops. He's so annoying. It's been a while since I've tested this one. I know you can only do it when close. Love it when he throws that at 16. I did that. That was a refresher. Oh yeah, I was just saying if you did a whole chapter and it's 11 a.m. for you, then I would be surprised. I mean, I'm still ranking rank 3s, Cam. And it's not like I'm spending money every time a R4 mat offer comes down. And I actually haven't bought any R4 mats in the BG store yet, and I have bought T5B. But I think that R4s are important enough if you want to win. There, in war, and definitely in incursions. I think they are important enough that the extra price still makes sense, especially when you take into account the opportunity cost, because, as was pointed out earlier, you can get T5B in the Glory store. You can't get Sig Stones or 6-star shards or rank 4 mats in the Glory store. And you can technically get rank 4 mats in the Loyalty store, but it's, it's not that deep a well. That's kind of what I'm speaking to. Like, if you're gonna look at opportunity cost for specific currency ratios, then I feel like you also have to take into account availability. Thanks, Pleasy. That was not my best Tiger fight. It's been clearly too long since I've taken Maul with her. Who's the most underrated champ in the game? I mean, that we could go on for a long time about that one. It might be Airwalker at this point. And it also depends on what circles you're in. Sam is okay as a BG defender. It kind of depends on the meta and how high up you are. Like, he was solid during Bulwark, but He's not very special in the current one. Bro. Alright, well at least we nullify these armor ups. Love that synergy. Bros. I may have already said that. Purchased one T3A from the BG store today. Means when I do the incursion run, it'll give you the second one. Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm looking at as well. Like, I may get some from the store because before I do my incursions run, um, I may be a little bit short on my next one. I'm gonna kind of have to see when I get there. Hey, Phil. Anyone know or remember when the buff details usually come out? Yeah, so the thing is that that's often today, but I happen to know in this particular case it can also just be delayed if the designer for the buff has a lot of other work to do and they don't get the spotlight finished. And that's just kind of how that goes. That's how it needs to go, because in this particular case, what the designer is doing instead is something you really don't want to be late. There's not much more I can say on that. But yeah, we should be hearing about Rocket soon. Airwalker, Sam, Wiccan, War Machine, Man Thing. It's not a bad list. Hey, DL. I mean, at some point, I've already agreed, probably in between tournaments. I've already agreed that I'm going to do an interview for Vega's channel, but I'm probably not going to do a podcast because one thing that you have to realize is that, like, I'm already putting more into this channel than I'm getting out of it from a monetary perspective. I enjoy doing it, which is why I keep doing it. I like the connection to the community. I like the extra perspective it gives me. I like hanging out with people and I like teaching. So like it's worth it to me. But I'm already spending time more on a hobby here than on like a side hustle to learn how to and set up a podcast where I would probably be putting it on Spotify and getting significantly less than my videos make here is not really something that appeals to me, to be blunt. God, it is so fast. I didn't know that power steel worked if it didn't hit you. What the heck? Did y'all know that? When are my champions and or buffs supposed to come out? So the rework that I'm working on does not have an assigned date. Those kind of slot in where it makes sense and where they're done, basically. According to how rebalancing goes, those are linked processes and therefore always in flux. Because we don't know ahead of time who's going to need to be rebalanced before we have the data. But my first champion comes out in January, and I do have another one confirmed for March. I don't think that should happen, Matt. I'm gonna make a note of that. I don't know why I did that. I know that doesn't work. Surprisingly, White Mags is still undervalued. Yeah, that is definitely true. Lost every BG match last season, yet received amazing rewards at the end. Learned a lot from the tourneys. Nice. Yeah, hope the record turns around a bit. But I'm glad that you feel the rewards were nice, even losing. Yeah, Doc is underrated. I feel like his is a little more fair because the skill cap for using him effectively is fairly high. And so it's kind of like the people who know how to use him, probably about, or the people who are good enough to use him, I should say. Some of them already know what he's capable of. Um, some of them are underrating him, and then there are a lot of people who are properly rating him as not worth it, if that makes sense. Ant-Man, I definitely think is going underrated at the moment. You've just accepted it. Yeah, I don't want to accept that one though. I don't know what just happened there. Hey, Illusion. Not a whole lot. No, it's not that, Snoops. I know why that happens. Basically, it has to do with the text surrounding miss being a little bit weird, and you often have to call out exceptions for like, hey, make sure that it didn't miss. And I think that that exception just isn't in that ability, but it may have been intended. Because maybe the idea was specifically for it to still work on somebody like Hood. I'm gonna poke around about that later. Yeah, I agree with. I mean, Fell has an Ant Man, so his word carries a little bit more practical weight than my theoretical thoughts. But I agree that he needs the dupe. Hey, BT, how's it going, man? Was gonna rank up my Ant-Man, but then you pulled Scorpion. That is fair. Oh, you don't think he needs High Sig, Fel? I remember early on there were some people saying that they thought he did. Hey, Campo, how's it going, man? Were relics released today? Not that I know of. I know that this is the last day that this is the last hour that the CCP is allowed to make content on this second batch. So maybe that's what you're seeing. Hey, Bean, how's it going? And that's what happens when I look down too late. Oh god, Stun a Champion is going to be really ugly against this guy. I hope I never get that one again. Come on, buddy. Sometimes it feels so weird to stun Taskmaster after a long fight. You kind of like forget that it still works. Pause scales from 2.5 to 4. Yeah, I can see how 2.5 feels like enough. Barely tested the new batch. Me too, Campo. Well, not on the CCP. What's funny is that like I hadn't tested the Black Panther relic at all by the time it went live, but I put it on one of my dev champions and have used it several times internally now. Storm relic is OP? Yeah, probably a little bit. Mutants are a very weird class to build relics for, unfortunately, and yeah, it's hard to balance precisely, especially when you have somebody like Kitty who is just a wee bit broken. But stuff like this, and like the fact that we have to take into account both broken champions and old champions that may not necessarily fit new class identities, like all this stuff we're talking about right now is exactly why relics are open for live balancing forever, as opposed to champions where the primary time for them to be changed is at that three 3 to 6 month window. Because yeah, it's just a huge task on balance. I think it's going to make the game deeper and more interesting, so I like it a lot. But it's a big thing. Whoops. Double whoops. That hurt. That really hurt. I feel like her moveset is making this much more difficult as far as baiting. Chill, Betsy. Anyone else at Kabam plays high tier war like me? Um, there are a couple. Whoops. Not many at the very highest levels, because it's just time consuming. Um, but there are a few. Yeah, Fel, and I'm glad we've done it from the very start. Because, like, that's not something you would want to add to relics later. But as long as people know from the very beginning, like, hey, here's this new cool thing we're going to do so that a bunch of champions start feeling better and more powerful, but we're going to make sure there's an upper limit on it. Seems like just maybe it might be a good idea. Dang it. Okay, I really need to stop doing that. I hate his combos so much. Okay, goal here is special 2 into special 1 because now we've disabled the nullify immunity. Here, buddy. Alright. Get the armors a little more under control and another buff because that's how we heal. Hey, you can do that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that because he was nullify immune. That's fine. We're stable again. Beautiful. Attacker tactic is bugged for a... Yeah, that's been known. Unfortunately, like that's the kind of thing where data tends it's difficult to push data live outside of updates, and so that may mean we need to wait for the update, and that will be close to the start of next season, which I'm not happy about, but that's kind of how it goes. Because I think it got fixed. Like my strong suspicion from talking to the person who runs it is that I think the fix has probably been in our data for a couple weeks now. It's just hard to get that stuff out. Are relics important for me? Just started playing seriously last year. Played since if I took this game seriously. Uh, I mean, relics are going to be nice for anyone. I don't. The goal is for them to not be absolutely necessary for anyone. Yeah, that was my feeling as well, Campo. I felt like the Winter Soldier relic was much more about flow for Elsa and Massacre than it was for damage. Or, yeah, about proper prepositions. Yeah, I know you were talking about the damage not potentially working, Cam, and I know that they're looking at that. I'm just talking about like when I'm pretty sure it was working on our side of things before it went to the CCP. It still felt more about flow to me. Yeah, what Campo said. Do I ever think that a nerf for animation could be needed? I mean, the problem is that that requires us to go back through the art department. And Yeah, that's not terribly realistic. The other thing is that to nerf based on animation, like I hate talking about some of the like hard exchanges, but I'm just gonna say this one. For that to be a thing, would basically like the trade-off there would be no new animations for old characters ever again. Like you can have Black Panther gets new animations when he gets updated, like OG Black Panther, how that happened, or how Storm gets new animations, or you can have the hope of maybe tuning down the translation on certain characters because they're annoying defenders if Balance decides that that's something they want to do. But I don't think you can have both. And I think that most people are probably going to want the new animations. Ugh. Woo! Those were nice crits. Hey, Chibi, how's it going? Big part of why I ranked up Daredevil Hell's Kitchen was because of his new animations. Nice, Bleezy. You all know if the new SSX recruits joining after AQ. I think there's still a couple things we're waiting to hear on, but I think we'll be mostly sorted in this next break. Not 100% sure. Yeah. No, I know where you're coming from, Eduardo. I think it's just like the way this game works, honestly, is that animation is often done independent of mechanic design. And there's some back and forth, but it's not normally a major component. Like the purpose for Doc Ock was definitely to make him feel like Doc Ock more than it was to be like, oh, this guy is going to back you into the corner and be dangerous. Or at least that's my suspicion. Obviously, I wasn't here. That was years ago. Um, yeah. There's a certain amount of back and forth, but I don't. It's at least not something that's currently on the radar of the team, I don't think. Hey, Devil Dog. Yeah. I never pay attention when I have the hold block one. I always almost miss it. See, how did none of those trigger decks? Yeah, that's the general consensus on Sam. It's difficult to get great damage out of him. You can get good damage, but you have to work harder for it than for some other champions. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. Um, yeah, I'll probably do a guide on him at some point. His utility is nuts, though. Personally, I don't think it's unfair. And if I was going to change anything about his damage, I don't think I would mess with the loop at all. I would probably just increase the attack bonus from the SIG. But it's already pretty decent. It's basically a permanent 33%, or not permanent, but it's a high uptime on a 33% Fury. And let's practice this. Uh, Shibby, I didn't know what was in them. Ah, you gotta throw it faster than that. Alright, it's been too long since I've done this. But to be honest, I went and looked for it yesterday. So yes, I do now know what's in the next feature crystal. I hate that stupid medium attack. Oh yeah, the stagger for Cap is huge. Sure thing, Eduardo. Nope, too late. Woo! I need to pay attention to this one. Always been one of my least favorite Tiger fights, but I've clearly left it alone too long. I know, like, none of the spacings right now. Hey, J. Will, how's it going, man? I mean, a 50% increase in rupture damage would be pretty freaking massive illusion. Thanks, Cyber. I'm glad that one holds up. Nice, Alberto. That sounds fun. Nope. I always forget that Gilly's one of those that can stand up faster than normal. Jerk. Friendly reminder that Soul Link, or whatever that's called, only reflects non-physical damage, so Tigra is one of the few mystics that can cleanly take Gilly through it. I mean, maybe Illusion, but I think he has significantly more utility than a lot of the top tech champs. And remember, he's one of the only tech champions that counters miss, and he doesn't need a debuff to do it. I don't know. I still think that I think Sam's going to age well. Note that 2 more Miss Defenders came out this month. I know, Shibby. I want that hood dupe so badly. Dude, I definitely blocked that light. Oh well. Yeah, I'm sure it should be. I mean, kind of barbarian. Still requires you to maintain it with a well-timed block, and it is a debuff. Sim has clear advantages. Yeah, Fel, get some rest, man. I hope you feel better soon. Good to hear from you, man. I understand Illusion. I really like Sam as well. I get where you're coming from. Oops. I guess I just what I'm pushing back on is the fact that like we have these ratings for damage, right? And no matter how much utility, no matter how much survivability, no matter how like no matter what any of the other ratings are, even if they're a competent defender, it kind of feels like the player base will never really accept below like a 3.5 out of 5 in damage. And I'm not sure that that's good for the long-term health of the game. So whether you're correct or not on Sam, that's kind of where I'm pushing back from. Like I think that's kind of an important space to have. If that makes sense. Need another get another booster. Geez, even how many of you had Cam? Because I got my second booster recently, and I don't think it was nearly as bad as the first one. But I'm sorry they're hitting you hard. 3 days is rough. Yeah, I agree, Shivy. And Sam can be competitive in damage for specific matchups in Battlegrounds. It's just not all of them. Nope. He bounced off the wall. I hate when they do that. That is my fault, though. Man, you have a lot of patience, Martin. Oh, good to know, Bean. Wait. 6 weeks ago, I think that's the one I got. I think I got it on the early side. Because I think I was waiting until the new one came out. That sounds familiar. Fingers are itching to hit a rank up button, but trying to wait until BG officers can look at new removed rosters. I don't. I mean, I'm not your BG officer, Martin, so I'll defer to them. But personally, I don't think there's any reason not to take Reed up. He has been a monster without tactics for a long, long time in war. My best season ever was like 50% Reed fights. He scales incredibly well to rank 4. He's solid in battlegrounds. He's in the defense tactic next season. It's now been announced that he's in the attack tactic for the rotation after that. Like, I don't see him going out of style anytime soon. Yeah, and I just now read Bean saying Mr. Fantastic may go up regardless. So there you have it. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to hold on that one. He's so good. Like if you know what you're doing with him, if you enjoy playing him even a little bit, Reed is one of the best characters in the game. And the thing is that he's not really reliant on super hard counters to his best fights. And that means that you have to finagle him a little more, but in the end, I think it actually makes him more flexible for the long term. Because if you have a lot of soft counters, then you can kind of move around losing any one or two of them. As opposed to somebody who, like, CGR is all based around his hard counter of armor break, right? When he loses that, he loses a lot of his kit. So yeah, I really don't think that Reed is going to start aging any more poorly than he has thus far. Yeah, Shibby, he's so good. Is yours rank 4 now, Shibby, or is just having a good time with the rank 3? Hey, Cyber, how's it going? Yes, her animations are rough. Yeah, Troy, that's a good pair. Appreciate it, me. There are so many puns in this game. Yeah, that happens all the dang time. Fun fact, the designer for Reed built the other Fantastic Four members as well. And it just came up in a playtest the other day because somebody was like, haha, a pun. And he goes, no, 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 no. I built Thing. I'm immune to puns. So here's the thing. Well, the thing about that, like, God. I can't tell you how many different playtests for Spot included the phrase, I think he's in a pretty good spot. And it's never well, almost never intentional. Just is what it is. Hey, Magnus. What a jerk. Eh, far for Mordo. Bye. Hunts are so much fun. Oh, they get made. When my first character comes out, I'll let y'all know which ones showed up then. I think Reed is best science in general. There's an argument for it. Science is a very good class, so it's going to depend heavily on your priorities. Hey, Highline, how's it going, man? Kind of amazed he hasn't thrown a special yet. Hey, Cletus. Cletus, are you there? Dude. And then I missed the friggin' parry. What a jerk. Yeah, Highlight? Oh, yeah, never mind. I almost asked what's up, and then I remembered. Forget I even had that lapse. To give Sue a small buff. See, that's the thing. He's definitely not against it, but keep in mind she has a lot of synergies these days, and most of them have been fairly conservative. Because if you make even a small change to Sue's kit, she can be broken very easily. So we all want that. We want Sue to be like worthy of what she is, but it's dangerous because the damage output and the safety quite high. Yeah, I forget if I said it out loud already, but I voted for Prowler. Um, there are other good ones on there. I would not be opposed to Blue Marvel at all. I would at least tentatively try to call dibs on both of them if that happens. There hasn't been a full-on brawl for who gets to design who since I've joined yet, but I feel like it has to happen eventually. Dang it. I was like, he's gonna catch me on it. I know he is, but otherwise he's not gonna throw it. Hey, Extreme Panda. It depends on how many rank 4s you have, Grinfeld, and like your other priorities and options. Like, I think he's powerful enough, yes. I think he scales well, yes. I would not be quick to do it. I think the synergy with Dragon Man makes her a lot more usable. Yeah, a lot of her synergies make her closer. What I would like to do is give her an Elsa style cooldown on one free miss every how many seconds, and then see how she plays. But maybe that's too much. It's hard to know. We'll get there when we get there. Nice, Troy. Yeah, I'm not remotely surprised. That synergy was one of the biggest reasons that I wanted iDoom, and I'm still annoyed I didn't get him. I just realized it's weird that they put Jabari as a defender here when the node just, like, completely rinses her. Oh, she can still mess you up if she cleanses, so it's not, like, bad. Rude lack of crits there. That's not what the argument is, Barbarian. The argument is that it's a bummer that she's clearly the worst. And in comics, she's arguably the strongest. Nope. Cool. Could have gone worse. 3/4 Science Gem? Yeah, Reed's definitely one of the better options for it. I mean, that is always one thing that we talk about when we're looking at buffs easy, is if the synergies folding in is enough. Um, but sometimes, like, it's possible for an ability to feel like maybe not quite enough as a synergy while also being too much in base kit. Um, trying to think of an example. Yeah, I don't have one right now. But it's just something that we're careful about. Any Marvel character to create? It's a tough one. Um, I read a bit of Mighty Avengers recently, because that was kind of like an offshoot from. Oh, that was too late. I got really lucky there. Um, because that was an offshoot from the Infinity series. I was going through Hickman stuff. And so I think White Tiger might be one of mine, actually. Like, the character is interesting to me. I think it would be kind of cool to, like, The kit would obviously have some things in common with the Wakandans, some things in common with Iron Fist. It'd probably be like a skill mystic hybrid. And I think the character is interesting as well. The fact that she's Latina speaks to me a bit, personally. Yeah, I think right now that'd be my pick. Take care, Cyber. How do we choose which champion is which class? That's over my head. There are people that coordinate that. It's basically a back and forth with Marvel. We're like, hey, we think this makes sense, and then they come back to us and they're like, yes or no. Like with Quicksilver, I understand that Marvel was pretty firm on like he is not a mutant, he's a science character. Like that was just established in canon. You have to stick to it. Sometimes I think we have some flexibility. Like I think we probably could have made Valkyrie cosmic if we wanted to. Wondering whether you should give Ibom the science gem. Uh I mean I didn't give Ibom a gem, but I did give him 66 the other day. Kind of depends on your priorities, easy, but it does make him a lot faster in battlegrounds and significantly faster in war. Symbiote champ? I haven't read King in Black yet, Extreme. So that's I'm not ruling that out. But with the comics that I've read thus far and my limited knowledge of characters that are not in the game, I think White Tiger is my pick. That is not how it works, Hussein. If that's how it worked, I would have a 6-star iDoom. Right, now I have to pay attention to Spot. Man, I remember playtesting this, but it's been a while. Okay. Um. Okay. Oh, they're definitely both more mutants and more X-Men. For one thing, Armor is in the vote right now, right? Or she was at least theorized to be. I forget. But Armor is an obvious one. She showed up in the comics I was reading, and she's not here yet. Armor, as in a suit of armor. Devil Dinosaur would be yours. I think the art department just put you on a list, my friend. Yeah, I'm sure that's on the long term, like, hey, maybe, but God, the modeling on a bipedal. only 3 of the new mutants in the game. Yeah, that's true. Going off of that, just the movie, which is most of what I know easy. Let's see, we're missing the... already forgotten her name, but the one that Maisie Williams played, um, Cannonball and Danny Moonstar, right? Like, all of those would be options? That could be cool. I think it'd be really interesting to build Cannonball these days. I like him and Sunspot's friendship in the comics. Hey, Saurab. How's it going? Hit 999 characters in your roster? Nice. I am not. I'm a bit further away. Ah, didn't parry it. That's okay. Is Rintra good without his dupe? Yes. Matter of fact, offensively, a lot of people prefer him without because it's easier to line up a special 2 with a lot of ruptures. Making a new debuff is like a mechanic, but yeah, essentially, because if we have a good reason to add a new debuff, and not like a not code one where it's like, hey, this is something that's basically something else, but like if we want a true new type of effect like that, that is something we're allowed to request. You basically just need a good reason to justify it, right? Like Rupture was obvious. There were almost no physical dots. Or I think there were no physical dots because bleed and poison are direct damage. So it made sense for us to add that, of course. Plasma is something that, like, the combination of Incinerate and Shock is kind of cool. I don't know what the next one would be. I've thought about that a few times. Like, you could even have, like, a... It would kind of be nice to have an energy one that isn't Shock or Incinerate. And Plasma's like a workaround, but it doesn't always make sense for characters. Like, maybe at some point we'll have some kind of radiation. I don't know. Even that doesn't quite work. Like, if it was D&D, it would be radiant damage, right? But that encompasses both, like, light and radiation. And I don't have like a pithy name for said debuff that I would pitch just yet. Think the blob would be cool? I could see that. Does his SIG ability affect defense? Yes. Rintra's SIG ability is very good on defense. Took Ebony Maw to rank 3. Nice. Yeah, he's very good. Bit niche at the moment, but it may not always be that way. Non-damaging debuff guide. I know, man. That is on the list. Maybe that's one I can even do. I'm not going to commit to it because we'll see, but that's potentially one I could do this weekend before I leave. I don't think this one's going to kill. Probably should have done the special one first. Eh, by the skin of our teeth. I heard about that Osaf. I haven't seen it yet. I heard, I mean, not to make it worse, but I heard that it was just not your best. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's not a fun time. I mean, he's hitting harder here because the node too extreme. He definitely doesn't hit that hard. I understand why people aren't too excited. God, I hate Mysterio. Or, that's not Mysterio. You know what I mean. Electro. Hey, John, how's it going? Just need more Cold Snap champions? That I agree with. Cyclops should be able to inflict plasma debuffs from his specials? Maybe. I understand why you say that. My main hesitation there is that, like, they are... Like, isn't there a thing in the comics about how they're not... They're explicitly not lasers? Come here. Don't throw your special, thank you. I'm glad it was fun, man. I do want to watch it back. This has just been an incredible tournament. A lot of seriously scary people. I was just saying to Vega last night that, like, the... I don't know, the feeling in the room is a little bit different than in the group stage when somebody gets knocked out. Like, it feels closer to knowing that somebody's going home from the Olympics now than it does to, like, oh yeah, lost a friendly, it's a tournament, no big deal. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. It's noon. I'm gonna need to run to work soon. Okay, just making sure I still don't have a, like, there's not a surprise meeting that I was forgetting about. I worked late last night after dinner, so I don't really mind. Jerk. Why am I... Oh, polka dot power. Okay, now we have our ability accuracy reduction up. Please throw... has been way too long since I've done this. Alright. Let's get a bit cleaner at that before he starts showing up everywhere in Battleground, shall we? Got my first rank 4 yesterday, Apocalypse. Nice choice. Congrats, Sarab. Or Sarab. Pure Force, no heat. Yeah, it seems like we've got some disagreements in the comments here. Yeah, I had heard the dimensional thing, Kazuri. Slay versus Finn was intense. Yeah. I may have beat Slay once in Battlegrounds in a friendly. He's an incredible competitor. Is noon every day a surprise to you as well still? A little bit, BT. I try to look forward to it, but every once in a while I mess it up. Okay, that's... I've missed too many parries today. I'm gonna report that one. One second. Disagreements because of different writers? Yeah, no, I'm not surprised by that. I just think that if in our, regardless of the real world definition, if in our game plasmas are explicitly the fusion of shock and incinerate, if his beams don't have heat, it might be a tough sell. He's a whale? Why do you say that like that's the only thing that needs to be said? If we're talking about Slay, he'd beat most people whether he's spent or not. Same way Usopp would. Ah, dang it, I forgot to go into Locked On. Blah, 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 blah. Woo! Poison plus shock equals biofeedback. I don't know if we need to combine all of them, but that is kind of interesting. Five-star can't do this. Yeah, I mean, this is a rank 4 Sig 200 Nimrod. This is supposed to be about as good as it gets. I shouldn't have changed modes. Dang it, no parry. Alright, well, thank God Wolverine has a lower health pool, because I'm kind of biffing this. Where was your last illusion? Just noticed mine is awakened. Yeah, it's quite important. Similar to with OG Falcon, you get the extra 2 seconds on lockdown. I think that is arguably the single most important thing uh, in the whole dupe. The extra sapped charges make his power drain feel more like a real ability, in my opinion. I don't think it comes up that much otherwise. The extra attack doesn't scale terribly well. Like mine is at 40 and gets, yeah, 484. That's fine on top of his 3000, but it's not even a sixth yet, right? Whereas if he were Sig 200, it'd be almost 1200. So like the attack rating scales quite well, because that's over a third. You're looking at like a 40% Fury at max. So I do think that the dupe adds quite a bit, and then the ruptures when abilities fail thing is just kind of a that's kind of a niche ability that comes up more than you think it might. I probably wouldn't rank him unawakened, honestly. I was trying to parry that. Maybe this one? Ah, I got an armor up. But I shouldn't have hit him afterwards. And that should have been a light. Okay, that's alright. We can do a light here. That was a hard one to parry. Alright, well we can do this. Nope, never mind. I'm just gonna wait. Rude. um... How do psychic attacks work exactly? Yeah, it's not a damage type, it's more of a tag. It's kind of like contact, non-contact, but separate from that. Yeah, like Saragos said. Take care, Highline. Any reason to invest into 6-star Void? Absolutely. Where did this idea come from that Void is somehow not good anymore? Oh, I forgot to lock on. That's fine. Wait, why are my sap charges not paused? They should have been. Yeah, that's on me. Never try and dex out of the second one. Alright, just kill him through block. Sig levels aren't that big a problem. Void is good at Sig 1. I have a rank 3 at Sig 1. See what you did there, user. Yeah, he's very, very good. I used a science gem on him, and I don't regret it. I don't even use him that much, and I don't care. Thanks, Shibby. I think Devil Dog had another one as well. He's a villain. Let's keep using Black Panther. That was on me. Alright, come on. Nope, don't do it. Okay. Woo! I remember that last kick at the last possible instant. Nope, too slow. It's okay. That's why we're testing this. Same easy. All right, everyone. I got to run at this time. Went a little bit longer than I should have anyway. But thanks for hanging out. It was a good time, as always. Still have to finish this out. But I'll see y'all then. Probably not right away, actually. Because, yeah, I guess I am traveling. I'll try and bring the small computer. I'm going to think about that. See what I can do. All right. Take care, everyone. Adios.